Hello and welcome to another Robcast Revenge of the Nerd podcast. Hey everybody, it has been a while since I've seen y'all. I hope you missed me. I'm back. I'm doing this podcast as early as possible. I usually get up at like 4 or 5 in the morning now because of the heat. It's rather untenable. It actually destroys my thinking process and everything. Physically, mentally, I'm ruined. With the humidity, it's brutal. This is, I don't want to use that as a wholesale excuse as to why I've been away for a while, but it is absolutely part of it because I've had like a sort of a head cold too, a summer head cold. It's not COVID, it's just a head cold, and I'm still sinusy and stuff. So that compounded with many other things, it's put me on a bit of a hiatus. I noticed in going to the YouTube channel today. It's been about 3 weeks since I've done a podcast, which I apologize for. I'll be doing many more, hopefully, in the future to sort of, give you guys the entertainment and fun. I mean, I really enjoy doing these. So you'll see I've got my new Scarface, zombie Scarface shirt from my t-shirt site, my TeePublic site. Check it out. There's so many cool things on there. I'm going to say this right away. If you guys don't, watch till the end of the videos for whatever reason, I'm just going to say this right now. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you enjoy these videos, and comment, give me some comments, give me some ideas. If you guys want me to talk about certain things, I'd be glad to expound and discuss certain topics and issues and things of that nature. So getting right down to it, this will be part 2 of my sort of pop culture rants. I realized since my first one, there are quite a bit of things. I didn't think there was that many things in pop culture that I had gripes about. But it turns out that there are. And I mean, they're not like, they're not life-altering, world-changing things or anything like that. They're just like little things that come in and out of my transom every once in a while. And, and I don't know, maybe you guys feel the same way about these things too. Like, so the last video, again, I apologize, kind of ended abruptly. I was ragging on Gene Simmons from Kiss. And I would probably like Kiss more if Gene Simmons weren't a part of it, or hadn't been a part of it from the very beginning. Anyway, I don't want to really dwell on that much. I want to go to the next topic, which I think affects a lot of people in pop culture. I think it really affects a lot of people, actually, in pop culture, and that is conventions. Convention bookings, to be specific. I've been to many conventions, and I love attending conventions, man, as a vendor or talent or whatever. I guess I'm booked more as a talent than a vendor, but it sort of goes both ways because I do have a lot of products that I sell at conventions and things, and do signings and stuff like that. So prints primarily, my graphic novel Cape Fear and things like that. So I guess it's a double-edged sort of thing with me. It's like I'm a vendor / talent. And I find that for especially bookers, people who organize the events, there are really like two types of people or individuals who do these things. They do them either very well or very horribly bad. Now, to do them well takes a lot of time and a lot of effort, and a lot of people don't have that or don't want to put the time and effort into doing a good con or doing a con properly the way you should do it. And the way you should do it, you should be promoting the shit out of it like the moment you have the hall or venue booked, or a stadium or arena or whatever the hell it is, whatever you have. If you've established that, and you're getting your talent and your vendors and whatever in, you need to start promoting that like immediately and daily and hourly, all the time. You need to book your talent as if they were the best thing on God's green earth. If you book me at a con, find out who I am. I don't, so I'll use myself as an example because, well, I know myself. But there are other artists and other talents, people who create, artists and people who create really cool products and stuff like that. Book those people like your life depended on it, because it does. Their lives depend on it too. They're paying money. You got to get people in to see those people that you booked, that you have at your convention. So if you're booking me, if you're getting me in, talk about, put in your promos, how I've worked for the Walking Dead show, how I'm a published author of the Zombie Handbook, how I'm the inventor of the zombie portrait, how I've done more zombie drawings than anyone on planet Earth. Things of that nature. You got to hype up every talent that you have at your show so that you get the people in off the street and people who are interested in your event to come see those people loaded for bear. They want, I want people to want to come see me and that other guy next to me and that other guy over there and the other guy over there and that girl over there and that couple over there. Those people who create really cool products and really cool art, you have to get people coming in the door to see those people. Okay, so that's how you book talent. Give it everything you've got. Any dumbass can book a hall and get vendors to go in. Okay? Anyone can do that. I can do that. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I will do that one day. Maybe I will. Who knows? Maybe I'll have my own Rob Cicetto con or whatever, and have people come in, and I'll book some really cool talent, and maybe I'll show the world how to book talent correctly. So yeah, maybe I will do that. Who knows? But until that day comes, guys, come on, man. Jesus, you have one thing to do. Book your talent. Get people in that door to buy stuff. Get fans to come in. Rabid to see these talented people that you've booked. Okay, so that's a huge thing, man. There's no excuse. I don't want to hear, it's raining today. That's why it's not that, we're not that busy here. So-and-so didn't show up, and maybe that's why. No, you know what? FFS, man. Come on. Enough. Because I know guys, I know a lot of people, a lot of bookers, a lot of organizers. Doesn't matter what the venue is. It could be a garage. It could be a cave. It could be a barn. They get people in there. And how do they do that? They promote the shit out of it, and they promote their talent and their vendors. Vendors too, So you've got OK Comics is going to be there. Comics North is going to be there, and they've got all this stuff. It's all in, and I mean constantly too, and it's all in how you sell it to people, man. Don't just be this lazy guy who goes like, oh yeah, I got a hall. There's some chairs and tables in there, and there's some vendors. Rock and roll. People are gonna get pissed off at you, and you know what? it's going to be hard to book a next one and a next one and a next one. Because if you don't bring people in, why would a vendor want to be part of your event? You know? So, and another thing, oftentimes I see these conventions that are like 2-day conventions where they do not have to be 2-day conventions. They can easily be done in 1 day. And especially if you have talent coming in from out of town. So now all of a sudden they have to eat, provide lodging for themselves, pay for that, pay for another whole day of being in another city. The travel alone, I mean, obviously the travel, you know, you're going to be there that night anyway, so it's not like you're spending more on travel, but travel is an expense. So you don't want to compound expenses, like having to rent a hotel room or, you know, eat, you know, go out and have something to eat and all that stuff overnight, especially if your con is not booked correctly. So you don't want to have that vendor spending more money to go than what they made there. Yeah, it's a fun thing, and I love going to see the fans. I love seeing the fans and interacting with the fans. There's nothing I love more than that. But for God's sakes, I gotta make money, man, obviously. I mean, otherwise I couldn't go. I couldn't go to things like this. And I want to go. Just book me correctly. Book the people, the talent that you're getting correctly. Talk them up. Okay, so I think I've made myself clear. I don't think there's anything really. I don't think there's any guesswork in what I'm trying to say here. So on to the next thing. Another thing I sort of like that sort of bugs me about pop culture, and this is such a personal thing, but fandom. The fandom, the people themselves, fans of things, whether it's Star Wars, Star Trek, comics, Lego, wrestling, whatever it is, I find that there's so much sort of like infighting, which is really unnecessary. I don't think infighting. I think fans are better united than they are sort of scrapping with each other, especially like on Twitter and shit like that. I think that's really unnecessary. I like DC Comics. I like Marvel. Well, hey, we both like comics. That's awesome. Let's talk about that instead of like trying to be at odds with each other on things. Fandom can be very, very acidic and vitriolic, and I mean, man, like, are you really a fan if you're shitting all over your thing all the time? Like, I find Star Wars fans like the most depressed, like angry people of all. It doesn't matter what Star Wars does. I just find the fans of Star Wars like are always angry for some reason, and I find like fans of superhero movies. Like, are they really fans? You have these people going, oh, I hate, superhero movies. Okay, don't watch them. They're not for you. Why are you talking about how much you hate something and you keep watching it? It just doesn't make any sense to me, Or, oh, I hate the casting things are probably the worst in terms of like hearing from fans talk about how much they hate something without even seeing it, or without, like, before it even becomes a thing. Like Ben Affleck as Batman. Oh, I hate it already. I boycott, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay, see ya. I'll enjoy it. I think what a lot of, and maybe I'm wrong about them being actual fans. I think it's just a lot of, like, people, normals, I'll call them, I guess, I don't know, talking about how much they hate superhero movies, and it's like, okay, then don't watch them. A simple fix. I don't know why we're talking about this still. But like, people talking about especially like when you know DC rebooting things, or you know maybe doing things sort of all over the map, whereas Marvel sort of like, okay, we're streamlining our continuity, we're trying to build this universe with all these different things. Okay, so there's that. That's a really cool thing. They pioneered that, and now everyone wants to do that. Universal's Dark Universe really failed at doing that. I hope that turns around one day and maybe they do something. But I'm fine with like the single movies too. It doesn't have to be a shared universe. You know, Creature from the Black Lagoon could be its own movie. I'll be fine with that. Invisible Man was great. I really enjoyed it. It didn't have to be part of this dark universe thing. I actually enjoyed The Mummy. I thought it was fun. It definitely wasn't good, but I enjoyed it. And I'm glad it wasn't. You could tell, obviously, they were building up to this big, you know, shared universe thing. But I didn't really care. I enjoyed it for its stupidity. Tom Cruise being, like, the main character was, like, a complete misfire. It was really shitty, but I enjoyed it the day I watched it. I was like, you know, it's okay. I could see why people hated it, obviously, and, you know, they should have. Probably. But all this stuff about like, oh, Robert Pattinson's going to be Batman and the new, you know, there's going to be another Batman. Well, guys, you know, and this might again speak to the normals who are always crying about this, but you know, if you read comics, if you're into comics, which by the way, I don't know if you know this, but the movies of like all these things are based on comics. They're these things. I don't have one right here with me, but comic books. Yeah. Okay, so all these movies are based on these books with like colorful drawings in them and stuff. Yeah. So if you didn't know, so if you read comics, you'll know that a character, a long-running character like Batman or Spider-Man or whatever, will go through many iterations with different creators doing their own spin on that character. That's what the movies are, Jack. That's what happens. So you got a new creator. You have Christopher Nolan. You had Tim Burton. You had his vision. You had Schumacher, who just passed away recently. You had Schumacher's vision. You had Christopher Nolan. You had his vision of Batman. Then you had the Zack Snyder version within the Justice League and the Batman versus Superman thing. So you have all these different versions of Batman. That's okay. That's what happens in the comics, man. There was a time when Batman was super campy. He was fighting aliens, and there's like a rainbow league of Batman and stuff, and all this crazy stuff that was going on in the 60s and even before that. So Batman had a gun at the beginning. He was a detective for a while. He's the Dark Knight. He goes through all these different things. People don't say anything when it happens in comics, but all of a sudden, because it's a movie, everyone's got to chime in on how they hate something, usually without even seeing it first, and then they're not going to watch it. Well, they watch it. They do. Where's all this money coming from? It's coming from all these people who said they weren't going to watch it. Anyway, you know what? I just love stuff. I've learned to love things and see things for what they really are from like up here. From up here, I don't know if you can see. There, from up there at least. And everything else is down here. And I look down and I go, you know what, man? This is what this is. I'm not going to, why would I be pissed off about it? Just another version. So anyway, guys, again, there's way more in fandom that I dislike, in terms of like just going, guys, come on, like why can't we all just get along, and enjoy things. And discussion is great. Arguments are great as long as they're cordial, and people aren't calling each other names and stuff. Discussions and arguments and things like that are great. We can do that, but to be vitriolic and be vicious about things between fans of different and I mean all sorts from from Doctor Who to Star Trek to comics to Lego to wrestling to there's so many like different genres of fandom and nerd culture. Let's just all love it, okay? Let's try to. Let's try to love that and not engage with people who really don't know what they're talking about, the normals a lot of times. We don't need to do that. We know what the score is, man. If you're into comics, you know what the movies do, how the movies work. It's just a different creative team, and that's what their vision of Batman is, or whatever. Okay, so let's just call it what it is. There's another topic I want to. There's a few more topics I want to touch upon, but I think I'm going to leave this episode of my rant, gripe sort of things with pop culture, to what it is, to what I've just said. I'm not gonna get into another topic. I'm thinking this is gonna be like a episodic thing that I do. There's some stuff that just came up recently that I'm really shaking my head about, but I'm not going to get into it now because it's going to take up a lot more time. So I'm going to leave it. To this right now. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have anything to say, please leave it in the comments. Please give me the thumbs up. I really would appreciate that. If you become a subscriber, I would really love that. It really means a lot to me. It keeps me going, man. Like, I don't need much. I don't need much to keep me going, man. But those little things like that, it's like, oh, I got another subscriber. Wow, fantastic. I feel great when that happens. It makes my day. You make my day. You really do. If you become a subscriber, you give me the thumbs up, you leave a comment or something. I really love that. If you want to see more content, I create new content every single day. Put it on my Patreon page. I will leave the link in the description in the bottom here. This week, it's all Zombie Muppets. So check that out. I've already done a lot, but this week it's going to be every day a new Zombie Muppet will occur. When I see you guys again next, it will be a movie review of a very underrated, amazing science fiction horror movie. I think more science fiction than horror, but very underrated. It's not what you think, probably, but that'll be my next video. That's coming up really soon. I'm actually creating the art for the thumbnail for it right now, and I'm really excited to do it. I just watched this movie the other day again, and I loved it. I do that often. I don't let my I saw that movie when I was a kid and I loved it, and and this is why it's so awesome. No. I've watched this movie many times, and I just watched it again the other day, 2 days ago, I think. It stands up. It's so fantastic, and it's so bewildering how it was even made. And I'll let you know that little secret in a little while, in a few days, probably this week. I'm going to do my best. I'm going to get up really early and do another podcast. So thank you guys for watching. I love you so much. I love that you're my friend here on YouTube and in other places, hopefully too, on Instagram and Facebook and other things. I will see you all again soon. Thank you again for watching. Don't forget the thumbs up. Okay, take care. Bye now.